So I think that to really understand a practice or a business, that it's important to understand the whys of, why your company or your practice or your business is in existence. And so I trained in Beverly Hills, and I trained with some of the best facial plastic surgeons. And one thing I noticed was that people with influence and resources were still looking, like they've had something done. So that made me think, well, if these people with all this access are getting these results, what was it that was leading them to have those results? And I kind of did research and looked into it, and basically I found our answers to, for example, our blueprint for creating, for an example, a house for, in this case, you need a blueprint to try to build a house. And I was trying to look for what our blueprint was for plastic surgery, which is beauty. And what I found was we really didn't know the answers. And so my thought was, if we didn't know the answers, it's going to be hard for us to achieve those goals. And then I just spent 3 to 4 years looking into facial beauty. And that, I think, sort of represents our practice. We try to think outside the box to get the best results. I spent those 3 years looking into all the elements of beauty, and I came up with a theory that eventually won an award from the American Academy of Facial Plastic Surgery called the Sir Harold Duff Gillies Award. And essentially, previous theories were based on external landmarks. For example, Leonardo da Vinci came up with this theory that, for example, the thirds of the face, like the hairline to the glabella, to the bottom of the nose, to the bottom of the chin, were all equal. Those distances were equal. But the problem with previous theories were that they were based on external landmarks that me and you don't necessarily look at. Like when I'm looking at you, we're locked in the eyes. So I think that any theory has to be based on what we actually look at. I think if your theories aren't based on something you look at, it's going to be hard to figure out what people are actually seeing when they try to interpret a face. So my theory was based on that idea that everything on the face has an ideal between 0 and infinity. And because we spend so much time looking at the colored part of our eye, that iris, that colored part of the eye, is the measuring stick for all the elements on the face that are close. For example, the distance from the eyelid margin to the bottom of the brow, and the width of the nose, and the tip of the nose, and the distance from here to here, and the height of the lower lip all should be about an iris width. And that was my original paper that came out, which won an award. And I've gone on to study more and actually manipulate pictures to try to figure out those ideals in more detail. And I'm working on some papers now to further discuss those elements and try to find more details in that theory. So I think that that's our why. Why are we in existence? Our why is that we try to figure out what the best thing is for a particular issue or desire that the patient wants, and we try to figure out the best way to achieve that. We're always thinking, what is it that we can do to continually improve our results?